Wasn't your son unless he's changed his name and is a fugitive from the law.
So anyway, this psychiatrist is the one who caused me to become disabled by putting me into a mental hospital and saying, well, I think you need a little electric shock treatment, the way you've been acting. And I said, what do you mean? I'm not insane. I don't belong here. And everybody else was saying that too. You know, when they bring him in there, they'd be saying, get me out of this place. Get me out of this place. You made a mistake. Everybody was saying that. So when I said they made a mistake,
why are you looking at me? I've never been there yet.
Listen to me. Well,
I'm looking forward. I am looking forward
Don't ever go to a I went to school psychiatrist.
Right now.
Never been to a psychiatrist in my life. I said it only took him 10 minutes to lock me up. No, it took him less than that. It couldn't even have been. It's probably 1 minute. 1 minute to diagnose that I was insane and I needed it. He knew very well that I couldn't get out unless I had electric shock.
I diagnosed you in 30 seconds, right?
In those days.
Remember when I said, you want to come up to my apartment? And you said, you bet your business. I knew you were insane.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that showed how insane I am.
That's right.
The very fact that I would go to a school psychiatrist shows that I didn't have
the fact that you would come to my apartment shows you're insane.
Good sense. Because, you know, I thought, well, you know, he's smart. He went to medical school. I mean, I don't have to be afraid of a psychiatrist. Do I?
Wait a minute.
He's educated.
I'm going to tell you something about, and I've discussed this with you before. Dentists and psychiatrists have the highest rates of suicide among professional people. Now, it used to be psychiatrists, but now dentists are edging them out. Now, wait a minute, I'll tell you one more thing. When I was working for a company in the automobile financing, we had to, so a buddy of mine, we were adjusters, and we had to go over to a hospital, VA hospital. The psychiatrist at the VA hospital, we were going to repossess his car because he was in the hospital. The reason he was in the hospital is because he was talking to his girlfriend at the time and told her that if they didn't get back together, he was going to stab himself in the chest. And he did. But it wasn't with a case knife, it wasn't with a steak knife, so it was just sticking there, you know, I mean, it wasn't in there anymore. But I mean, this is, yeah. Sorry.
Well,
you just had to say, sorry, if you're a real doctor, we're taking your car, okay?
I at the time, I had no idea that they could
repossessed his car.
A person like me, who had always thought they were sane, put them in a mental hospital after talking to them for 1 minute, no matter what they said, no matter what they did, put him in the hospital. Actually, what I did was look him right straight in the eye and not answer 3 of his questions.
I told you that's a real good tact
of authority.
Real good tactic to take.
But
right?
Did I have any idea that I would then be incarcerated and would not be able to get out unless I had a series of shock treatment? Did you know that? Did you know that you could get locked up and given electric shock treatment without your permission? The psychiatrist could decide it, recommend it to your parents who would be scared to death and say that you needed it desperately.
Let me ask you this question.
You would be electric shocked.
Is there any...
Totally against your will.
Is there any way... Now think about this. Is there any way that I could call up your medical plan and talk...
Medicare!
Talk to one of the psychiatrists and say, I think I have a case here that needs to come over and talk to you. Could you shock her?
Yeah, shock her.
Yes,
well,
I've talked to her she's been taking up quite a bit of my time, and I think that she needs electric shock. Can I bring her over on the bus, or do I have to bring her in a taxi cab? Or would you guys in the white coach just come over, take her away, please?
Well, to me, this was like the license of a psychiatrist to give you horrible
if other people can do it to you, why can't I do it to you?
For your behavior, for any kind of behavior whatsoever, they could give you a beating, which amounted to electric shock, a series.
Oh, seriously?
And I tried
have
to
you ever heard of the,
I told
Have you ever
them,
heard of the thing called cat of nine tails?
You know,
you get hit with that thing, a cat of nine tails. It's got, instead of one whip, it's got 9, and they got little hooks on the end of it. I mean, that's a beating when you
Yeah,
get that thing.
well, what do you think about barbaric when you're taken in there,
I
tied
just told you
down,
that. Well, that's not.
and tied down and electric shocked until you're unconscious for a second, or however long. And I told him, I said, this is barbaric. This is absolutely wrong. I am not insane. Well, they just looked at me like, oh, you think you're not insane. The verdict is not in yet.
Well, here's the problem, as I perceive it to be. You ready?
Yes, go ahead.
If you thought you weren't insane, they're going to sit around and go, no problem. You will be when we get done.
That is exactly
You will
right.
definitely be when we get done with you. You're going to be going, can I have another one, please?
That's right.
I already had 2 this morning. I know, but I'm addicted to them. Stick it
That
to me.
is right, because I saw women in there saying, they were talking like, I've had 2 under shocks, and every time I had one, I felt
It
dead.
gets better every time.
Yeah, and I'm going, oh my God. And then if I said, oh my God, what has happened to your mind? Then they get all upset, so they tried to shut me up. They didn't like me saying stuff like that. I just absolutely protested the whole idea of electric shock. I was 20 years old. And within 1 minute, I was thought insane enough to be locked, be taken off under guard. Oh, for God's sake, heaven help me. I mean, there should not be the right of anybody to give you treatment that you do not want. Well, in those days,
You mean I
for the
can't-
protection of the public, we need to give you electric shock to calm you down.
Can't call the doctor and have him come over and...
You don't have any respect for what? Authority, psychiatrists, in general. And, oh my God, what a revelation to me. What a revelation that I could be.
Your problem was you didn't get out often enough.
And then when I got out of there, oh, you think I got off easy? Oh no, I was disabled. Partially disabled by the time I got out of there. The time I got out of electric shock. And I figured electric shock would have killed me as bad as I was.
Was that in the old days?
Disgusted.
When they used to use that cattle electric shock rod? They would
Oh, I knew all
stick
about
that
electric
thing-
shock.
Stick it right...
We had
in
electric
it.
shock cattle prod. I knew what it was.
Okay.
And that's all it was to me, is I thought, you guys, and so I made that one of my causes. I said, oh, I can see a cause I'm going to have to fight. Electric shock therapy. Incarcerated against your will, electric shock. And you have nothing to say about it.
Well, usually mentally ill people don't think they're mentally ill.
Oh.
And secondly,
oh.
if they are mentally ill, they don't want to get electric because they think everybody else is mentally ill. So you're the ones, not me. You're the ones. So that's why you can do it.
Well, I said to myself, I will never ever go to a psychiatrist again once I get out of this mess. I will never get near a hospital again. These places are extremely dangerous. Well, really dangerous. I mean, I was coming home half of myself. My health was like, and they did it to me. They did it because it was like being beat when you've already been abused.
What
during
has
your
this
life.
got to do with long pants? I haven't been able to figure this one
Well,
out.
this is
What's the
it's
next
all the
one?
reasons why
If I just wear a jock strap, how about that?
Disability.
I come in and wear a jock strap, I sit here with a jock strap on.
Disability is again
Well,
a
if I
very
walk out of here
big
with a jock
reason
strap
for
on,
being
they're gonna think I'm disability.
unpopular. I mean, you don't often see the girl in school with cerebral palsy that's elected the most popular. And she
Well,
didn't
she
get the
is. She is if she's
either.
playing around with the guys. She is. Believe me.
Oh, yeah, sure. She's going to be, well, no, guys aren't going to play around with her, you know.
Oh, you don't know guys all that well, do you?
well, they'll take advantage of the
horny
poor.
teenagers,
the poor.
they'd take on a snake if you held it still, you know.